Well, this is the game this is the real game I was waiting for the whole season because we're playing Alavés. Is that where Iñaki is from Álava, el cañón de Álava. So we're going to go with the lineup and what we expect from Real Madrid against Alavés in Mendizorroza, is the name of the stadium.
I will try to put apart the feelings, and I'm going to do a really cerebral analysis, as I always try to do.
As he always does. So with the lineup, I think there are going to be, well, probably no surprises. Carvajal is sanctioned for accumulation of yellow cards. So we're going to see Keylor Navas, Varane and Pepe, Marcelo on the left, and Danilo on the right. Another chance for him.
Yeah, I think that with Danilo it's always an ongoing process of evaluation,
yes,
game by game, because he hasn't played consistently with continuity.
Which is strange because he hasn't played consistently bad, but either consistently good, so we're waiting for that.
I think that Danilo, I really trust Danilo. The viewers know that I really think that he's a very better player than the player we've seen in Real Madrid. And I think that he should be able to provide offense and defense, because I think Alavés is going to be with a lot of players near their area with a 5-4-1, and I think that we will need a surprise from the wings, from Marcelo especially, but also from Danilo. From Danilo.
Midfield for, well, Kroos. We thought Kroos was going to rest yesterday, but apparently there's no rest ever for Kroos. With Kroos and Kovacic and Isco, which seems to be now, in the absence of Modric and Casemiro, kind of the starting lineup, the favorite starting lineup of Zidane, the one that gives more defense, more balance, and maybe a little bit more offense as well.
Yeah, I think that this midfield worked really well at Betis. It was a little dysfunctional as the team against Athletic de Bilbao, but I think that these three players are very dynamic. I think that Kovacic can help Kroos in the start of the play. He can virtually play a 4-2-3-1 with Isco more in the number 10 position, and I think that Isco is one of the hottest players in the team right now.
True.
For me, when Zidane substituted him against Atleti, he was at the moment the best players on the pitch. I think that he did okay against Cultural. I think that Isco right now, he feels that he's a starter player of Real Madrid, and his confidence is very high, and he's translating that confidence he has from Zidane and in himself into the pitch.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I think Isco, as Iñaki said, is the hottest player, the player who can give us the most mobility and maybe create the most chances, filter the most passes. For the three guys up top that we still think is going to be the BBC, I don't think Zidane has come to the point where he says, okay, these players are not performing the way they should, even though they aren't. And Morata and Lucas Vázquez, with a lot less minutes, are producing maybe more than them, but I think still we're going to see the BBC from the beginning.
I think that the moment you say about Zidane losing confidence on the BBC, is still not in a near future.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't happen because they recover their level.
I think that Cristiano is now in a battle against himself mainly.
Yes.
Mentally and physically, I think he's in a process. He's starting to acknowledge that he can do certain things he used to do as the best in the world. In that process, he has good days, like the day at Dortmund, for example, decent days, like the day at Betis with 2 assists, or Legia, and bad days like the day against Athletic. Yes. I think it's complicated for him and it's complicated for Zidane. We have
But probably if there's a player that needs to recover those things on the pitch, and very likely it will happen is Cristiano. So
I agree.
Can't put him on the bench.
I agree with Zidane starting him.
Yes.
You have to test how the water is that day.
Yes.
But if you see after 1 hour of football that Cristiano is not Cristiano, he should be able to substitute him, and that's
he shouldn't
the
be afraid of taking it off the pitch. That is true. So that's the team we hope or we think we're going to see.
About Lucas and Morata, they are doing their part. They are showing his manager that they are able to perform in any circumstance,
in
any scenario. From being the sixth man coming off the bench versus Athletic.
Six man like in basketball.
Yeah, like in basketball, or starting against a 2B team like Cultural. For them, there is not a top game and a bad game. They do their best and they are doing their part. If then at the end of the day Zidane decides to go with the BBC despite of their underperformance, it's not the boys' fault. There is a manager that makes the decisions, but you have to do your part.
They are doing their part, and hopefully, and they're hoping for Zidane to do his if time comes. What can we expect from Alavés?
Alavés, Marcos Llorente cannot play because
we talked about this, the clause of fear, and Real Madrid not wanting a player that they have sent on loan to play against them, which you know already I really don't agree. I think it's terrible. But well, it is what it is. It's the law. So
I think
Marcos Llorente will not be on the pitch.
Alavés coming to the game after his worst game of the season at Real Sociedad. But in the picture of the whole season, Alavés has proven to be a very reliable team. Alavés has competed really well against Sevilla, against Barcelona, against Atlético. Three of the best teams in Europe.
Something we haven't done yet.
Yeah,
compete against Atlético, Barcelona or Sevilla.
True. And I think that Alavés is going, Mauricio Pellegrino, the manager, is going to try to do the same the team did in Barcelona, with 9 players very close to their goalkeeper, who is Fernando Pacheco.
Don't forget, Alavés beat Barcelona at the Camp Nou 2-1. So
the goalkeeper, Fernando Pacheco, won La Décima with us. He's a former player of the academy and Real Madrid. But I think from the perspective of Alavés, I agree that they start in a defensive mood. But I think that with the ball you have to try to harm Real Madrid because of two things. Because you can't be 90 minutes next to your goal unless you are Atlético de Madrid 2014.
And you know exactly how to do it. And
you
can't
Real is vulnerable.
Yeah, you can't hold near your box and expect Real Madrid not to score in 90 minutes.
Absolutely.
And especially what he said, I think in a lot of moments of the last games, Real Madrid have shown that they can dominate in some moments. But in a lot of moments, we see a very vulnerable Real Madrid, and if they take their chances, they might harm us.
Real Madrid has conceded a lot of chances, or a decent amount of chances in every game, and against very different opponents. Like Eibar has chances, Real Sociedad, every team that had Legia Warsaw had a lot of chances, and I think that Alavés have to try to harm Real Madrid. And for our viewers who are not very familiar with Alavés, for me the best player alongside Marcos Llorente is Theo Hernández. He's a left winger, but
he's on loan from Atlético de Madrid.
Yeah, he's on loan from Atlético de Madrid. And for the left wing, he's the greatest playmaker the team has. He has a lot of power. His dribbling abilities are awesome, and he's physically, with 19 years old, he's a monster. And I think that he's a top player.
So let's watch out for Theo Hernández. Theo Hernández,
brother of Lucas Hernández, who is playing in Atlético.
Say brother Lucas Vázquez, but no. For a prediction, I think we're still going to win. We have to win. I don't think it's going to be a very pleasant game, but hopefully we'll win 3-1. I'm going to go again with a 3-1, and let's see if this time I'm right.
And always, when it comes the moment of the score, I say my brain opinion, not my heart opinion. I think Real is going to win 0-2, because right now Alavés is not producing a lot of offensive football, and I think that Real is going to be able to contain them and to eventually find the goals. But Alavés is going to be a competitive match.
Hopefully we'll see a beautiful, intense football game. 2-1, 2-0, 3-1. Let us know, Galacticos, what you think is going to happen. What do you expect from this game? Of course, if you liked it, share it around the world with all your Madridistas friends, and give us a like and subscribe. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.